Hey guys, good morning. So what are we up to today? Well, you saw me in the last video buy this trailer, and today we're going to accessorize it a bit, add some hardware to it to make it really functional in terms of strapping down the UTV or any vehicle that I put on here. So I'm going to introduce you, if you're not familiar already, with etracks. If you are familiar, well then you know what you're in for, but hang in there and I'll hopefully show you a few other cool things that I'm going to be doing to make this trailer the way I really want it. So welcome to TWC Projects, and let's get started. Thanks. So here's some of the hardware I bought so far. This is an etrack. These are also etrack style. Of course, you've got little clips that drop in and out to position things where you want. This is for rings. I got that to go with these guys. These are straps that tie down bonnet style straps for probably I'm just going to do on the front wheels initially. I think that's all I need, and then on the back wheels I've got these little strap in, and of course these have the etrack style clips on it as well, so you can adjust whatever you want, wherever you want them to be. Also needed some bolts to tie these down. Obviously want them to be very strong and hold well. This is 2-inch. I think it's yellow pine. It's a real good long life pressure treated lumber on this trailer. So also a lock. So this is the first time I've seen this style of a hitch, which is evidently very popular now and supposed to be really good. But you simply lock it down like so, and then got this new type of a lock. I should do it by the way so you can see it. And slip that on, lock it in, and now we're on there. So that's a decent setup. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that up close. And then of course this has, in the first video I talked about, this has this, I think they call it a 7-way connector. And one of the things I've got to also do, which will probably be another separate project, is get an electronic brake control system for the truck. I think the wiring's in place. It really just needs to be hooked up, and there's a special box that I'll put in the dashboard, and then I've got to go to the dealer and have them program the computer to work right with it. But what it allows you to do, because this has electronic brakes on it, is that you can, when you get ready to use the trailer, you can go out and kind of adjust your braking so that the trailer itself will take some of the load off of the stopping when you're going about doing that. And it's pretty wild. I haven't really used that before, so I've got a little bit of learning, but of course there's YouTube videos out there, and I've already seen a little bit that show you how to go out in the parking lot and kind of set it up. You do, like 25 miles an hour, and then you try hitting the brakes, and if they lock up too much, then you dial it back, so you can adjust when these things kick in terms of the brake pressure that puts on the wheels to help assist, really. The other thing that it has is this wire setup as well. It's kind of a trigger. I probably should show you from the other side, but it also ends up, you loop it up around, and then you hook it onto your back to your trailer, so that if for any reason at all this thing comes off before the, of course the chains are there to help stop, but this will also immediately set the brakes, and that way that'll help slow the trailer down right away and hopefully avoid too big of a dangerous situation. So obviously we always want to be careful. Safety is very important, and I thought I'd show that to you because I really didn't know much about that before. I've hauled trailers before, but a little bit smaller. And the other thing with an electronic braking system on your trailer that you got to keep in mind, though, is in most states, I don't know about all states, but Virginia, where I am, requires an annual inspection, just like you would with your car. So That's the downside of having the brakes. You got to deal with it every year instead of just getting a permanent registration, but it's worth it to be safe and to be able to haul the equipment I need to haul. So that's it for that. Where we're going to start out is measuring, because we need to, this track's going to be a little bit too big, and I knew that going into it for what I was going to do. I want this to actually go in between, so I'm going to cut off a 1 foot section. You can buy them in 1 foot sections as well. They just didn't have any there, and the 5 foot was a little longer than I wanted. 4 foot is going to be perfect. So the 4 foot one is going to go right in the middle. This guy will go in the back, and then you saw those other with the doubles on them. They'll go right up front here. So that way we can strap over the wheel here, hook down wherever we want, strap over the wheel, hook down wherever we want here. So that's what we're in for. Got to do, like I said, I've got to cut this, no big deal, so I'll do that, and then finish measuring out. Oh, the other thing I want to tell you is that what I need to do here is weight distribution, obviously, is critical on a trailer. So we want to make sure, and on these UTVs in particular, the motor's right here, you can probably see right up underneath, so they've got a good center of gravity, but we want to keep that weight distribution. We don't want too much tongue weight, and then we don't want too much tail weight. So we've got to get this guy just right, try to figure out, you know, where the best place is for it, and then once I do that, then I'll put the tracks in place. So that's the idea. I'll work through it, but anyway, let's get started with this. Hey, one other accessory I forgot to tell you about is these chock blocks, or wheel chocks. I guess different people call them different things, but basically, obviously another safety item when you're parking. I've got 2 on this side, and I've got to get 2 for the other side as well, and I just put this kind of a nylon strap between them, use rope or whatever, but it's nice because you quickly pull it away and get them out of the way. But also having this laying out on the ground like this and being big, when you're looking back in your rearview mirror before you start to go anywhere, you'll hopefully see those too. Maybe they should be fluorescent color, but anyway, helps you remind you that you've got those in place still. Obviously, once you've made a solid hookup to your vehicle, you'll want to pull those out and you'll be in good shape. But anyway, just wanted to tell you about those as well, because that's another important safety accessory. All right, 48. And then I know that I've got 83. All right, so one of the things I need to do is make sure that I've got this thing centered real well to keep the weight distribution even. Again, safety when you're driving. But what I'm doing is I'm measuring obviously the distance between the wheels, and then I know the width of the bed is 83 inches. So I'll take the 48, I'll subtract from 83. That'll give me the difference, and then I'll divide that in half, and that'll tell me how far from each side to the center of the track that I need to be for each of my tracks. So I thought I'd let you know that. And of course, I'm going to do a similar thing, although front to back distance, you don't split in half like you do side to side. Again, because we talked about weight distribution before, so we want to make sure that we get this guy, I'll position it first, then measure, and then figure out where the tracks go. So I hope that makes sense. Not too much math. So anyway, thought I'd share that with you too. Nice, turned out great. Clean and meets my needs. All right, so I've got this thing measured out. I figured out what I want to do. One thing I want to note is that these boards don't really go straight. On the other side especially, I noticed that, so be careful to measure in from the outside. Don't trust the line of the board because they aren't in there straight. So anyway, that's a little helpful hint. But I've got these marked out and spaced where I want them, and I know they look a little bit further apart than, it's certainly more than I originally envisioned, but The reason why I've done it that way is because I need to make sure that it also works for the Porsche. So I took the measurements on that as well. In fact, this UTV could probably come back just a little bit. I think it's pretty well distributed right now, but I might just move it back just a hair, you know, and then I'll mark where I want the wheels to be every time, so when I pull on, I can easily see right where it's going to go. But anyway, the rear tracks and the front tracks, I'll put extra heavy bolts in those. I've got 5/16 lag bolts to go in those, as well as screws too, which I'll put across all the tracks. But just to be extra safe, because the weight stopping quickly would go this way, or taking off it goes this way. So we just want to make sure the front and the back especially are bolted down really well. So I'm gonna get to finish marking this stuff out and drilling and get some bolts in there. So as you can see, the easiest part really is the drilling and screwing. The thing that takes all the time is the measuring and getting it right. So anyway, I'm on the home stretch. This will be pretty quick. I'll just knock out a bunch more of these, and then we'll try getting the UTV up here and putting the straps on. That's when we'll know if we did it right. So. Strap down. You can see I've got a couple different style harnesses. I've got the full wheel harness in the front wheels. Those have a tendency to turn a little bit, so I want to make sure those don't. Those aren't going to turn at all. And so the yellow straps are the primaries. They're the ones that really are doing all the work, and they'll hold it down. I may end up getting the same style harnesses for the back. It's just that these things were about 30 bucks each, plus another $12 for two of the lock-in ring clips there, versus these straps in the back are $21 for both of them, and you don't need the ring. So it was a big savings in money, but I may end up adding on later, and just because I think they probably are more secure. But so the yellow, like I said, are the primary, and then I've got the orange straps are just hooked around the frame. They're not really that tight. That's just in case for some reason one of the yellow straps comes loose or breaks, which these things are not going to break. They're designed to handle cars, and they're super heavy duty. But anyway, there are certain requirements around having being extra safe and having secondary tie downs. So that's what I've got on the orange ones. They're just looped around the frame, and again, like I said, if for any reason one of the yellow ones were to come loose, it's not going to go anywhere still, because the orange is going to hold it in place. So that's it. One other thing, you'll notice these are nice and clean. I just had these little cheap Velcro straps on here. I don't know what I paid for them, but these, you can buy these little 6-inch pieces of Velcro for next to nothing. Probably Lowe's, or certainly on Amazon or somewhere. But it's just awfully nice and clean. Keeps these straps from flying around. Anyway, it just looks real nice and clean. And then I've got a cover I'll put over it. Maybe I'll go grab that so I can show you what that looks like as well. But that's it. I hope you like this. You can kind of see there's a lot of options with this track. You can kind of go wherever you wanted to. The strap is a lot longer than I realized it was going to be, but that's all right. It still works really well, and I'm glad I have that big 4-foot section in the middle and 1 foot on the ends. So it gives me flexibility, like I said before, to also put other vehicles on here and still be able to strap them in pretty well. So that's it. Maybe I'll go get the cover too, try that out, and then we'll wrap this up. So that's it. Took her out for a maiden voyage and rode really beautifully. In fact, it rode so much better with the UTV on there than it did the trailer being empty. So I'm really pleased with how this whole project turned out. Hope you found this interesting. If you have a trailer and you're trying to find another way to a little bit more flexible system like this, maybe this helped. Anyway, pretty cool. I like it. I hope you like seeing how this came together and like seeing it go for a test drive. And that's a TWC project. So until next time, take care. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, leave me comments, ring the bell if you want to see when new ones come out. They're all a little bit different, right? If you've been watching, you already know that. Some are actually projects, some are just going on trips or adventures. Others are all the stuff that kind of leads up to some of these projects. So this trailer is one of those things I needed to be able to. We've got a trip this August that I'll be putting on YouTube, going up into the mountains of Southwest Virginia, and we're going to be riding the trails up in the mountains with the UTV, and need the trailer to get us there. So a project to get us to an adventure. Anyway, hope you're enjoying and having a great day, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.